Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And tonight, we're talking Mr. Banks. Yeah. All right, BlueDragonFive, how you doing tonight? Time to get back to our flagship Disney podcast of the channel, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, so this trailer was kind of dropped on us. Did you expect to get something like this so early after the first trailer?
No.
No, not at all.
No. I was
Do you
just
think it was? Do you think it was kind of a leak situation, or do you think Disney just thought?
No.
Time?
I don't think Disney really has to worry about the leaking as much as Comic-Con does when they drop their stuff.
Right. Would have been interesting to see if they would have released this with Ant-Man, though.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I never really thought of that.
Right, I literally, that idea just popped in my head right now.
Well, you know, it's kind of a weird thing with cross-promotional stuff, because with Ant-Man you get a Batman-Superman trailer, and it's like, just, if it has, for the most part, it's like they try to keep it in-house of, like, things that relate to the company or something. However, sometimes if it just animate the whole other animated movies.
I did not get the Batman vs. Superman trailer. I got the Star Wars trailer. I got the, I got this weird based on a true story thing about like some people in a flood or something.
Oh,
did you get that?
No, I got like the mountain thing, the people trapped on a mountain, or like they're coming down the mountain. And
no,
I gotta tell you, based on true story now, this is the most predictable thing. I even saw that on Family Guy. I mean, come on, yeah. Oh, they get to the top of the mountain, and then they get caught in the storm on the way down. Big surprise.
Right. I don't know. I think that they should have released it with Ant-Man, but hey, what do I know? I'm not a marketing person, you know. And the days of releasing a trailer the same day as releasing them in the theater are just over for some reason. You either release it like 4 days after the freaking movie or like 4 days before. It's ridiculous, and I could go on a rant about it, but I won't. We're here to talk about the actual trailer. And yeah, I'm wearing an ironic shirt because I'm hipster and all that. Yeah, because the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park are, for the most part, not good. And the dinosaurs in the Good Dinosaur are, I'm going to assume, for the most part, good.
Oh, the Raptors are conflicted.
Indeed. Probably in both movies. Okay, anyway, so do you want to get right into the trailer, kind of talk about everything that we see?
Yeah, sure. Let's launch right into it.
Okay. So we see a sky, like a sunny kind of.
We see. I gotta tell you, one of my favorite things in the show is kind of the opening shot here. The environments are breathtakingly beautiful, aren't they?
Oh, they really are. They're photorealistic. I think Pixar's got it nailed down.
Like, even in this whole trailer, if you look in the sky is like, oh my god, that's
so we see clouds clearing and the sun kind of coming up from a forest, like a prehistoric forest.
And I love seeing like the post-rain like dew on the leaves.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like I said, it looks like something out of it looks like a photograph.
We got some really good music too.
And then this trailer was more somber than I thought it would be. Yeah,
well, I have a reason for that.
Okay, do you?
I'll drop. I guess I can drop it on you now. We this is the most recent report of what the plot is supposedly going to be, but again, it keeps changing, so don't quote me on it. But it sounds like this is what they're finally going with. They ended that close to the release, so I can only assume this might actually be it. So. The reason for this tonal shift may be that I read a few articles and I looked at Wikipedia what the new updated plot was. So according to that, Arlo, our main dinosaur, our main he apparently he loses his father in a tragic accident. So it's looking like they're going to kill off the father.
Okay, so it's kind of going to be a Land Before Time kind of situation.
Now, they could. I'm just saying, when they say tragic, after a tragic accident loses his father, you would assume that means death.
I would assume so. Yeah, I don't know.
There's a chance it could be separation, because I'm assuming the rest of this family is alive, because they don't mention the whole family gets killed.
Maybe they're just gonna do a whole Don Bluth mashup, and they're gonna have the whole killing of a family member from the Land Before Time. They're gonna have getting separated from other family members from American Tail.
Well,
they're gonna work on a Promised Land from the Land Before Time. I don't know. They could do a lot of stuff with it.
I can tell you the rest of what they're gonna do, which is half of what you said.
Okay.
So, basically Arlo loses his father in a tragic accident. He gets swept out into the river, bonked on the head. He gets knocked out, and he wakes up and he's like in a whole different location. He's completely lost, and he's just trying to get back to his family.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a journey movie, and then he's on it. While he's en route, then he comes across Spot, this young cave human, this young cave child.
And this relationship between this dinosaur and this human is intriguing me more and more the more I see of it.
That's pretty much all the plot we have. So
Okay.
it sounds like they're going to get rid of the father and keep the family as like the goal for the movie.
All right. Like I said, it sounds kind of like a lot of blue formulas tying all together, which is a good sign because I honestly thought this would be kind of like a lighter Disney movie or a lighter Pixar movie after Inside Out. And I'm hoping for more kind of the gravitas, more of the sort of really heavy hitting stuff. I'm all for that because that's Pixar's wheelhouse in a way. I feel like when they step away and do something lighter, like let's say Cars 2 or I'm sorry, but Monsters University. I'm sorry. I did just saying it how it is.
That movie was emotional.
Granted, there are lighter Pixar movies that can work, even though they do have emotional elements, like Ratatouille and The Incredibles and stuff like that. But I do feel like Pixar's wheelhouse is really these sort of heavy-hitting emotional journeys where the characters themselves go on, both a physical and a transformative spiritual journey. And I feel like
kind of a Nemo-esque movie.
Exactly. Yeah, Nemo's like the perfect. I still, to this day, I would probably, even next to Inside Out, Nemo is probably the one that I have a hard time. Nemo and Ratatouille are kind of the ones that I struggle with, just like you struggle with Brave and Toy Story, putting Inside Out above those two. Nemo and Inside Out, or Nemo and Ratatouille are the two for me that I struggle with.
Brave and Toy Story?
No. Did I say Brave and Toy Story?
Yes, you said Brave and Toy Story.
Oh.
Yeah, Toy Story and Up.
Up. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ.
It's a big difference.
Yes, that is a big difference. Okay, but I like all this, all this kind of cryptic text that we get. A single moment can change history. It's all building towards something. You know what I mean? And so
we see young Arlo. He's alone and trying to get some food, like some berries or something atop a tree.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a nice image of like a long neck who's still too short for things. It's like a cruel joke almost.
Littlefoot.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, like they're kind of doing that here also.
That's all I'm saying. I really like the shot of the rainbow lizard creature, kind of scurrying away in the rain.
Yeah. Oh, I found out apparently Newt may have been also another cause for some delays and upheaval in the studio. For not for this movie. I'm just saying for like Inside Out. I brought that up. Sorry.
Well, yeah, Newt is just a whole mess of.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't all Rio. It was like Inside Out was kind of the more. That was the more. That was the thing Pete Docter backed up more, and that's why they did Inside Out over Newt, which put more pressure on for that movie.
Exactly.
That was a little revelation. Wait. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Arlo, he's on the rock trying to get the berries, and he stumbles. Do you think Arlo and Spike are going to talk to each other, or I'm sorry, Spot are going to talk to each other?
Let's see. Well, they can obviously communicate. Oh no, actually, I'm not sure. I know they recast Arlo's voice, and now he's a younger sounding kid than like a young guy. It's more like a kid, so it's two kids. Well, I mean, it's like, what if dinosaurs didn't go extinct? They didn't really lay out any other ground rules than that, so I'm going to assume they can't talk to each other.
They can't?
I'm going to assume. I don't know.
I would like that to be the case, but then again, I thought that we heard Spot's voice.
Well, yeah. Well, actually, no. What we hear is we hear Arlo saying hello.
Okay.
So we hear Arlo saying hello. We're not sure if he understands or not because it cut the black. So maybe that's the one.
I would love it if Spot was pantomime. I would love it if he was a pantomime character. And I feel like they can pull something like that off.
I think that, to be honest with you, just looking in the trailer, I think that's the direction they're going. I think purposefully they shrouded that in black, so you don't really know how that's going to go.
Exactly.
You know, it's
But
like
if they do that, I could easily see it being a very strong choice on Pixar's part.
yeah,
you know,
kind of
just artistically.
kind of a Wall-E-esque premise of like kind of Wall-E/Ratatouille premise of like you have a character who can't really understand each other, but also one kind of a different language barrier to get through.
Exactly.
Could be neat.
Very Pixarian, I think.
Then I think my favorite one of the little text things on the screen is right here. I love this. I love just so basically Spot got him the food and put it down.
And then I love the shot of him just kind of like quietly wandering back into the thick bushes.
Yeah. And here's my favorite. One of my other favorite parts. I just love a single kindness can change everything.
Yeah, man, that really got me stoked. That really is like.
Send like an excited chill up my spine of it. Oh,
it's like, oh man, they're really trying big things with this. This is.
I'm just saying, a single kindness. That's a real friendship right there. It's like how you meet. You know, it's like
exactly, and that's what Pixar just excels at.
And we know literally Pixar's success is built upon friendship. Buzz and Woody. Come on, these guys know how to do good friendships.
Exactly. I mean, we could go down the list, but we'd be sitting here for like 5 minutes.
Russell and Carl. You know, it's all
right.
Okay, anyway, so then we see like this is a really inspiring shot. So by the way, also again, with the environments look breathtaking, just like the simple act of Arlo.
They're huge. They're absolutely gigantic.
Yeah, also like seeing this Arlo like put his foot down upon like the ground, like the wet ground. It's like, oh, it's such a realistic shot.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we see there's a really inspiring shot here of like a frightened Arlo walking alone in the shadows.
And then another shot of Arlo with
we see a cliff.
Yeah. And Spike's
Spot.
I'm sorry, I keep calling him Spike. Okay,
he's not the dog from Rugrats.
I know. We see a couple of intriguing shots after the whole hello thing happens. The buffaloes. What do you make of the buffaloes?
Well, it's kind of like this. I guess it makes sense that you could have some prehistoric buffaloes, and we have buffaloes and How to Train Your Dragon. So you know, it's.
But were these like? I feel like this is kind of like a hybrid of a buffalo and a woolly mammoth. Like I feel like this is one of these creatures that.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're kind of it's like a prehistoric buffalo. Is what I'm saying.
Right, and I feel like that's really interesting the way that Pixar is kind of like imagining like. This hypothetical sort of scenario and how it would affect kind of like evolution.
Yeah, well, I'm sure with like the little shot of the what was it, like the rainbow lizard.
Right.
Well, with something like that, I think they're getting at. I can only assume Pixar, the brilliant storytellers, that they're going to figure on the logic of it all, which is one of the things I love about Pixar. They're going to figure. Okay, what if the meteor? That's their whole premise of the movie. What if the meteor did not hit the Earth, and the dinosaurs did not go extinct? So what would happen? What else would not be extinct? How would the Earth be if that didn't happen? They factor in all that stuff, which of course be other species that were probably not wiped out. I would assume they've done a little bit of research there and found out. Okay, well, there could be buffaloes way back in the day. Maybe let's make them look like a little bit woolly mammoth, like a prehistoric buffalo. Right. We might have had those. Had that not have happened, you know.
And then we get maybe one of my favorite shots of the trailer, which is this. What the hell even is it? It's
don't forget with the buffalo. Don't forget in the buffalo shot we see T-Rexes talking by the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if they're talking. I'm saying they're gathered by the fire, like a campfire setting, which is kind of an interesting shot.
So I mean, to me, this is like it looks like a Triceratops, except it's got like this.
Oh yeah, this is a cool thing. This is like a camouflaged dinosaur here with like a bunch of again other animals. I can only assume did not go extinct.
Right, like they look like kind of prehistoric birds in a way. I think.
Yeah, like kind of bird-like or kind of either bird or sloth-like. They're all just kind of hanging on the thing. So look, I just love the idea of a camouflaged dinosaur like blending into the trees like this.
And I love how like twisted and long their the horns are. It's man, it's really inspiring. All right, moving on.
Then we got some prehistoric mice. Again, we get to see some other species here. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. And then the Of Monsters and Men song kicks in. And
Of Monsters and Men?
Yes, that's the name of the band that this song is from.
So that was the
only reason I know that is that they also did the song from the Secret Life of Walter Mitty trailer.
But then we see a shot I can only assume will be one of the centerpieces of the movie of Arlo using his tail to kind of make the fireflies come out at night, and we have a really cool shot of like all the
I think the fireflies are maybe going to be one of the main visual motifs of the movie.
I'm sure that's such an art of shot. You know, like when the art of books are like, oh, you know, this is such a really conceptualized part. And it does look really breathtaking. You know, just like in the night sky.
It reminds me of the candles from Tangled.
It reminds me a bit of Groot's luminescent spores or wherever they were. Well, actually, no. Were they actually fireflies? Yeah.
No, I think they were spores.
Yeah, spores and/or fireflies. I don't know, they might have wings. I can't. So the point is, Groot's little light trick kind of reminded me a bit of that. Point is, it's a really nice little bonding moment. It seems like, and it seems cool.
Yeah, they really seem to be touching home on like this. Good visuals and heavy-hitting emotions.
Again,
and I'm so thrilled about that because that is exactly what Pixar is good at.
And again, you got to remember, this movie is this is the biggest, one of the first of many soon to come. Big chances they're taking with these movies now, because this one has a lot to lose. I mean, it has a lot going against it, I should say.
It does.
And this one, plus, they're working with literally probably the most cliched story in all of storytelling, and they're going to make it interesting. And we've seen good examples of this. I'm not saying it can't be done right. It can't be spiced up. I mean, Lilo and Stitch,
You know what? I'm going to object to what you just said, because at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of Pixar movies use cliche stories. What make Pixar movies what they are is the environment and the imagination and the world building.
Well, I know
the story.
Well, I know that helps spice up the story. You know, those elements that they've done before. It's fine. I'm just saying, of all the stories, this one's kind of like the more by the numbers thing that can. I'm not saying it can't be spiced up. We've seen this story been done a million times, but always most of the rats we've seen this in, and not just Pixar. I'm saying like like Lilo and Stitch or Iron Giant, even How to Train Your Dragon. You're right. You guys are right. Like the characters and stuff do make those stories stand out and be their own story. And I'm saying Pixar can do that with this movie. I'm sure. I'm just saying it's still. There's a lot of room, and those movies are like great, fantastic anomalies in how you can screw up a story if you're not careful. And I'm saying those stories can be by the numbers and uninteresting if you're not careful. And so far, we've seen great examples of this, but it's a really hard story to keep in mind. That is a hard story.
You know what I'd be more worried about? I'd be more worried about if there was like some tyrannical like group of dinosaurs that Arlo was a part of, and they were invading like these native dinosaurs. And Arlo was sent in as kind of like a mole in a way to blend in and get information. But then he learns the ways and the culture of the good dinosaurs, hence the title, The Good Dinosaur.
I don't think so at all, really. No.
I'm just joking, but you know where I'm going with this. And then there's a girl dinosaur that he falls in love with. And then the enemy group is like, Arlo, what are you doing? You're supposed to be working for us. Which side are you on, boy? All right, I'll stop. But really, that is the plot. That is the cliche plot that I hate the most. So
I'm just saying, yeah. I mean, less like a conventional story, more so like it could go a cliche route of it all if it's not careful. It could be not cliche. I should say predictable. It could go predictable, and that's the thing you'd be worried about. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, you know where it goes, and that we've seen any Pixar, and we know where it goes. Like ultimately, they'll become friends. It'll be all smoothed over. But of course, it's about the journey getting there, which I'm sure Pixar.
I'm just gonna call it. There will probably be a moment where Spike and Arlo get separated over some sort of, miscommunication.
I don't know. In this case, if there's not a verbal thing they can just easily communicate with, well, I don't know. Maybe it won't go that route.
Yeah, we'll see. And
the point is, I have all the faith in the world Pixar will be able to pull this off. I'm just saying, that's like the least of the worries for this film, because again, they've had a lot of production rewrites, changing. There's like 4 directors on this movie technically.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
I'm saying this on like production-wise, this looks like it's going to be a train wreck. And I'm just saying production. Of course, we know the opposite. We know these are talented people working on this movie. We know they've done amazing.
I mean, the same thing could be said about Ant-Man.
Certainly. Again, I'm just saying. Well, yeah, more so for the behind the scenes, because again, it was supposed to come out way back in 2014. But
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. All right. Anyways, so let's continue. looking at the visuals of the trailer. So we see Arlo kind of trying to climb a cliff, and then he falls. Oh, and this is really interesting.
Oh yeah, this is a great bit here. Would you go over the? Did you skip the snake?
Yeah, no, I just got to the snake.
Yeah, go to snake.
Okay, so the snake is. It looks like a very intimidating snake. You know,
I love the snake design. This is such a cool. This is.
And then it's got like, and it looks so realistic. It looks like such a realistic creature that would exist. You know, it's got these like tiny little legs and arms.
I tell my here. This is one of my favorite bits in the whole trailer. This bit right here.
Mm-hmm.
I love Spot jumping to Arlo's rescue here.
Yeah.
And again, this is a great bit to put in the trailer because you don't know what's going to happen. Because I mean, it's a kid going up against a giant prehistoric snake.
Right. Yeah, you're right. That is good trailer bait. It's like, oh man, well shoot, I have to watch it now.
I mean, he's not, and it's also kind of a good reversal. Like that we are Sweet Innocent Dinosaur is terrified by this giant snake here.
Exactly.
And I'm still like, the kid's not Bam Bam. This could go south for the kid.
Well, we don't know the kid's not Bam Bam. We really don't know a lot about the kid. For all we know, he could be like super skilled, and I don't know.
It could always be like a big surprise. I'm saying in general, with the characterization of the character, it could always go like the old brave route or the up route of like you're just gonna be completely blown away by what we're dropping on you.
Exactly.
You'll never see it coming.
You'll never see me coming. He just starts breaking out into the Ben Kingsley voice from Iron Man 3. Arlo, I have something to tell you, Arlo. This whole time I've been running around as a prehistoric cave boy, but I'm actually a terrorist, although some call me a teacher. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so breathtaking shot, I think, of Arlo running, and there's like this huge flock of birds that is, you know, kind of dispersing from the landscape.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
They're being chased by some pterodactyls.
Mm-hmm.
Looking really cool, like they're being chased all into like a cliffside.
Some more firefly stuff. I definitely think the fireflies, like I said, might be the main visual symbol of the movie.
Yeah, yep. We got this great little kind of cute little like roaring shot of like a kid hanging onto his leg as he like lifts it up in the air to roar, like with all his gusto in there. With he's like, you know, he's sweet little dinosaur. He's a young guy, you know, just gonna be trying to belt out like a dinosaur roar. So, yeah, I think the kid's gonna teach him how to kind of be a little savage in a way.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's a good prediction.
I'm looking forward to this friendship that might develop between these two. I'm looking forward to it.
I feel like the kid is going to have a lot of similarities to Donnie.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. That's just the vibe I get off the kid.
Yeah. I'm kind of wondering, like, just looking at the trailer, his end result of, like, we can only assume, you know, he's going to be reunited with his family, but there's a question of what to do with the kid.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they'll probably just adopt him. That's
yeah, but I'm wondering if they're going to go. Here's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if they're going to go a different route with it.
Okay, what's your theory?
Well, I don't have a theory. I'm just saying, I wonder if they want a different route with it. You know, like if they didn't just have the thing we've seen before, like, you know, just integrate the kid into the family. Because I assume the kid maybe has his own family. Then again, they could do the route of he lost his family too. That's why they bond so well.
Or they could do the route of now the kid doesn't know which family to choose.
Maybe.
There we go.
Or, I mean, they could just... No, they'd never do this. I'm saying maybe the kid doesn't make it to the end.
No, never.
I know. They would never be able to...
I mean, they had some balls to do what they did with Bing Bong, but never.
Yeah, they would never be able to... You can never have harm come to a child.
No. The worst that we could possibly see is like one of those classic Disney fake-out deaths. All right.
We'll see. The point is that, again, this movie's looking really like it's going to be interesting. We still got some shots to go here, but I mean, so far, the music, the atmosphere being built here is like a really intriguing adventure.
This song is not going to be in the trailer, I guarantee.
No, I know that. I'm saying like before the song. I'm saying before the song kicks in, there's some kind of neat score going on.
Sure.
I like the mystique built up. Like again, that one bit I really love the whole "a single kindness can change everything." I love that line.
I mean, and I'm just looking at the backgrounds, man. I mean, I think up until this point, I'd argue that maybe Up perhaps had the most expansive landscapes out of any Pixar movie, and I feel like this kind of kicks it up a notch because everything here is just vast. Like, there's this big feeling of openness to to just all the shots.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's just a ton of stuff to go out and explore, and we're only seeing this small section of it. You know what I mean?
But then we have another shot of one of the great shots I've seen in the previous trailers, but from a different angle, which I like. We have Arlo in the river. Like
yeah.
You caught in the flood or into a river. Like he's swimming down there for his life. Really good shot. In that water, it looks so beautiful the way they've animated that. I can't wait to see that in action.
I think Pixar's definitely like mastered water at this point,
especially
with what we saw with lava.
Yeah.
A couple quick things. I like it looks like we're going to get this action scene with the pterodactyls on a cliff.
Oh yeah, certainly. Because again, it's such a great thing when they're chasing them to the side there, and like they're just clinging for their lives almost. Oh yeah. Also, there's this bit where they're jumping. It's not jumping in the air, but it's like the kid's like riding on Arlo, and then he's just kind of bouncing. Like the kid like goes up a few feet and is landing on it. So it looks really fun.
Yeah.
And the ending's like a really nice bit. Again, this really kind of brings the whole trailer home. This bit here.
Yeah.
So they're all kind of out of danger and everything's kind of like it's just the good dinosaur. And then we see this last bit of like them kind of curled up together. Is there a fire going on? Is it just like below a cliff or something?
Oh, let me check. I have it pulled up right now. I don't think there's a fire.
Yeah, okay, well, the point is, like, there's kind of next to each other, and there's the moon, so they're kind of howling at the moon together. It's nice.
Yeah, and I made you look up the Where the Wild Things Are trailer before this, and granted, I don't think there's a ton of similarities between those two trailers besides the fact that, A, there's a popular indie pop song that plays over it, or indie folk song, and B, and this is kind of the more striking thing, is that both of the trailers end with characters kind of like howling at either the sunset at Where the Wild Things Are's case or the moon in this case. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. But it definitely, I'm very much intrigued by this movie, for sure. Yeah. I think there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, it looks like they're doing the reverse. I mean, what they've kind of said, again, they keep changing things. I'm wondering if it's still the case, but it looks like from this trailer that they're still going the whole boy and his dog rap in reverse. Like the kid is the dog. It seems a lot like.
That definitely looks like what they're going, and I'm intrigued by that. I think they can go a lot of different directions, especially if they go the way that we're thinking they're going to go in terms of having Spot be a pantomime character, which I think would fit in so well with the Pixar lexicon of some of the best characters.
Yeah, they do best pantomimes. They really do.
I'm a really big fan of Guido from Cars. I mean, he only says one line, but for the most part, he's a pretty good pantomime. And it just, of course, Wall-E was a perfect example of stuff like that. Kevin from Up, just a whole long list of great pantomime characters, I think. Certainly, and I feel like this kid could fall in line with that.
Like Tuck and Roll from Bug's Life, they really speak, but there's more sort of gibberish, but which could be in a similar vein. Like soon the kid can make grunts and caveman noises.
Yeah, right. I think that's probably the most we're going to get out of him. Like I said, I feel like we're going to get a Donnie Thornberry. I do feel a very strong Donnie vibe with this. I don't know. I could be wrong. It could be a completely different style of character, but it's just what it's reminding me of.
Well, again, the big thing that's really drawn me into this movie is I'm really hoping they keep to this premise because you kind of get the vibe in the trailer. I'm really, really sympathetic towards this dinosaur. Sure. What we have definitely seen is like him being caught in this flood or falling into the river and just washing away to an unfamiliar location, being all alone, trying to survive on his own. I like that, but again, the idea that perhaps he goes through a trauma and kind of recovering through friendship, which is kind of the ultimate Pixar cure-all for when you've been through something like that. Like Remy loses his family, and he kind of builds something of himself by making a friend. And that's kind of how things. It's always that you suffer a loss, and you kind of rebuild yourself back through a friendship or through a journey, which is kind of the Pixar wheelhouse, and I think that will serve the movie well. So again, just like this vulnerable dinosaur making a friend that will ultimately help him kind of get what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be
like I said, just in general, the nature of the world building we have going on there with this hypothetical sort of like, what if the dinosaurs didn't die out, and what if evolution itself kind of changed because of that?
Yeah, and the last thing we've heard is that they still have the farming angle in there, so we'll say that'll probably be the
They
reason.
still have the farming angle, really?
I heard they still have the farming angle.
Oh, I'm surprised about that.
So what I'm guessing, my guess is
going. It's really out there to me.
Yeah, my guess is that they're going to be like, that's the reason he and his father leave or something, like to do something that's farming related, and then that's when they get separated, probably.
Okay, well, we'll see how that plays out. I'm not sure.
I mean, like, when I heard them.
You know what it could be is maybe it could just show that dinosaurs are kind of like the civilized species, whereas humans are the uncivilized species.
Maybe. I'm wondering how big a role humans are really going to have in this movie. Because like, from all we know right now is like we're only having one human, that's the kid. But we can assume the kid has to come from somewhere.
I mean, I think it's probably going to be like an Ice Age type thing.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Where
I don't know. We'll see. I'm getting a sense that he might be our only human, but we'll see.
It could be. I mean, artistically, I think that would be a good choice.
Yeah, but also with that, so when I just heard like there might be a tragic accident that separates Arlo from his father, and most likely tragic loss of his father. I'm thinking Lion King vibe. I'm getting a huge Lion King vibe from that.
Oh, certainly. I mean, yeah. That's
Lion King meets
kind
of like a Lion King meets Land Before Time mixed with an American Tail style journey.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of.
I'll give you this. It sounds like it might be the most Bluthian of the Pixar movies,
which is really kind of hard to imagine after what went down with Inside Out. I think Inside Out just screams Bluth. And hell, I mean, if Pixar is the new Sullivan Bluth, then I will take it. I will gladly take it.
Sullivan Bluth.
Well, yeah, that was the name of the studio, Sullivan Bluth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember like Donald. I remember Don Bluth. Just forgot the whole Sullivan part of that.
Yeah, Don Sullivan.
Right.
All right, anyways. So I guess that's about it, right? Unless you have any kind of closing thoughts.
No, it just looks. It looks good. We didn't get like too much information on it, but I think they built a good tone and atmosphere. There's enough to draw you in because again, they really tell you absolutely nothing about this. Really, you get no information except that the kid and the dinosaur can have a relationship of some kind,
and that the backgrounds are going to look absolutely spectacular.
Exactly. But this is interesting. We get a trailer that's all visual, like not a only line it said is hello. That's all we get.
Exactly. And
so
I feel like that's a really good way to go with it.
It's an interesting route to go. I'm intrigued to see where it's going.
All right. Well, we will follow the project. Of course, kind of footnote at the end of the video is that it's the first Pixar movie to be a second release within a calendar year for Pixar.
Yeah, it's a biggie. That's going to
be So we'll follow it where it goes. Of course, we'll have our review when it's up, and we'll see if there's any more trailers between now and then. And in the meantime, BlueDragonFive, I'd like to humor you guys with a I don't know. Hold on. Movie. Okay. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Dinosaurs were all destroyed. What if the impact of that meteorite created a parallel dimension where the dinosaurs continue to thrive and evolve into intelligent, vicious, aggressive beings? Just like us. Hey, what if they found a way back?
A long time ago, they were dinosaurs. All right.